Every Friday, take a trip around the world with music from around the globe. Colors of Rhythm with your host DJ Ron John. Fridays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on iLive Radio, iliveradio.com.
Hey, what's going on, everybody in cyberspace? This is The Groove Show with your boy, the crowd pleaser, DJ Mark Anthony. Don't forget, each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m., we want to put you in the mood for whatever the night has in store. I'm playing only the best feel-good, party-rocking, body-shaking music from funk to soul to reggae to R&B, house to salsa, and much, much more. We call it The Groove each and every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Keep it locked. It's the crowd pleaser, baby. You know how we do. We'll see you on the air. Peace.
Attention all musicians, bands, associations, clubs, and organizations that represent collective styles of music across Canada. Now is the time to rebuild our collective music nation genres like hip-hop, R&B, jazz, soul, reggae, gospel, and more united. The Collective Music Nation is a non-profit organization committed to the development of collective music. Free memberships are available now. The Collective Music Nation. One voice, strength in unity.
Core Platinum, an organization where Indigenous and Black business owners can network, promote, and grow their business. Join their ever-growing Core Platinum website and be seen by customers everywhere. Plus, win jobs posted by interested customers. Looking for a reliable contractor or service? Use Core Platinum's platform to find service vendors, submit service requests, earn referral points, and more. Core Platinum. Sign up is free. Sign up now at mycpg.ca. That's mycpg.ca.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
The number one hit music station.
You have now reached your destination. Welcome to the E.I.P. Lounge. Everyday, interesting people.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the E.I.P. Lounge. This is your boy, Mr. I Am, and I'm here with my fam.
It's your girl, Miss Jareen.
And you know what it is, it's your boy, Rooms. Today is going to be a great show. Today we're going to talk about Father's Day. Father's Day is actually coming up Sunday, right? And we have a couple guests in the building, which they're fathers, and let's introduce them right now. So we got our boy right now in the building, Gems. How you doing, Gems?
I'm good. What's
Perfect.
going on?
Nice. And we have Jeffrey. You know what I mean? Jeffrey, how you doing?
All the way zooming in, all the way from Arizona.
It's already hot in Canada, but I can only imagine Arizona right now. Arizona's got to be like scorching hot.
It is 114 today.
114?
Yeah, we calculated it. About 45 degrees Celsius.
What's that, 45?
Yeah, we said 45.
Oh my goodness. So everyone's walking naked out there. Is that what it is? Is everyone walking naked out there?
Yeah, it's warm out here. It's warm.
And then we got Prophecy. How you doing, Prophecy?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Nice.
Hey, Prophecy.
So let's get right into it. You know what I mean? So once again, Father's Day, right, is coming up in the next couple of days, Sunday.
Yeah.
Right? And we just want to give a big shout out to all the fathers out there.
Yeah. Yes.
Going up there. You know what I mean? Let's be real. We know people could breed up kids,
right?
But not be
a father
or a dad and whatnot. So I see Prophecy laughing the whole work. So let's just jump right into it. So
I decided I wanted to do this show. I was having a conversation with somebody, and they made a really good point that fathers are not really celebrated enough, right? So I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. We definitely need to shout out fathers more.
Yeah.
Mothers are always recognized. Mother's Day, even outside of Mother's Day, it's always, about the mothers. But there are some really good fathers out there. And I do want to retract a little bit, because I remember in the beginning when I first came on the show, we did a show about fathers and the importance of fathers. And I did say, sometimes, unfortunately, we do have to think outside of the box when it comes to that. But tonight, we're celebrating those who are fathers and those who are good fathers and those who are on a journey. You know what? And actually, I want to change it from father to maybe just dad. You know, because some people are not fathers, but they're really good dads to other children.
So what's the difference?
I think when you think of the word father, you actually like the children came from your loin.
You know what? I get it, but I think you're talking too much. If we could go to prophecy, someone who's actually a dad or a father or Gems, you know what I mean? And myself, I'm brand new, so brand new to the game. So I want you guys to educate me more.
Okay, well, prophecy. Tell us a bit about yourself. Actually, start out. Tell us about your family dynamic.
Fair.
I have a beautiful blended family that includes six girls. Ranging from 6 months to 24 years of age.
Wow.
And hold on, you said girls?
Girls.
Beer woman. Lord. Okay,
double barrel.
You already know what I think about that.
Double barrel.
And Jeffrey, tell us a bit about you and your family dynamic.
Yo, so I have two kids, 17 and 14, about to be 15, and they're in high school, and they got a lot going on. So I got an ex-wife, and we got a great relationship. That's a whole nother show. But yeah, now I got two dope kids.
That's awesome, awesome.
Nice.
And our in-studio guest.
Yeah.
Gems, what about you?
Okay, so
he's laughing. I don't know.
Take your time, brother. Take your time.
No, that's soft. So I have 3 of my own, and I have a step.
You have a step.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so
and wait. What about you?
Me? Yo.
What about you, Ruben?
So freshly out of the pot. You know what I mean? I got a beautiful baby girl.
Yeah.
Big up Kalani. You know what I mean?
Brand
new. So I'm trying to think. You know what I mean? Still learning. Trying to think. Trust me, because a lot of the crying I couldn't take it. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So thank God for my wife to kind of.
So there's no trying to ting when you're a daddy. There's no trying to ting.
There's no trying to ting. No. Oh my gosh. So
you
I'm
just
trying to
do?
ting because from that Caribbean background. She's crying. She's only like 3.5 months. I'm like, go get the belt. Like, hold on.
Stop.
I'm like, hold on. She's only 3.5 months. I'm just like,
we don't need Children's Aid calling the station. He's just joking. He's just joking.
No, I wasn't really. I wasn't joking. But I realized I'm like, you know what? Let me just give it back to my wife, and then she kind of calms out and then give me that stare, and be like, hey, I'm like,
right.
I see you. So I already know the drill. But I know you said something awesome, Dream. You said, yo, there's dads and fathers. And Prophecy, is there a difference between dads and fathers? Or it's pretty much the same?
It's not the same. It's not the same. I mean, any man with the right equipment can be a father, can father a child, right? But not everyone can be a dad. You know, that dad life right there, that's showing up. That's never missing. You can't miss. Being a dad, being a parent is that bill that check that can never bounce. You can't, you know what I mean? You just got to be there, right? So I look at it that way. You know, anybody can be a father. Anybody can lay down with a woman and they can create life.
Right.
But a dad is the one that's there, that from day one, just like the mom, you're there from day one. And you're always there, you know, in whatever capacity that can have many capacities in terms of, you know, what you do and how that, you know, that works out between you and your child's mother.
Right.
But being a dad is showing up and always being there to do what you're supposed to do as a parent.
Excellent. And Jeffrey, you know, I know my little disclosure, Jeffrey's my cousin.
Wow.
And I know he's in education out in Arizona. So I know you have sometimes I'll be on the phone with him and I hear him talking with other young men in the school and everything. And, you know, do you find like being a father, I can't see him, maybe because he's not talking, right?
He's coming.
Okay, maybe. So do you find being a father has given you the skills to deal with these children that aren't yours? Because you deal with them every day.
Well, actually, being a father, being a teacher gives me the skills to be a better father because it gives you like a broad dynamic of how to deal with kids. So, and their situations. It also helps me realize some of the things that we're really worried about is nothing to what's really going on in the real world.
Right.
So So let's flip it around. So being a teacher helps me be a better father and gives me a lot more patience to deal with the kids.
That's amazing. That's good. That's good that you're able to have that.
Yeah.
And what about you, Gems? How do you feel about being a father and a dad? You mentioned that you have a stepdaughter that you're still involved with. How does that translate for you?
A stepchild. How do you deal with that?
So, I'm not with my child, but she's still mine. So, I've had her from she was like 1.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
how old is she now?
She's 17.
Lord. Okay.
She's a baller.
Okay.
So,
shot collar.
No, she's a baller. She's on that ball court. She puts in that work.
Okay.
But the whole dynamic, like, so where I learned how to be a parent, I learned from my own parents, right? I take their good that they instilled into us, and I try to leave all that extra junk on the side, because there's no rule book on how to be a parent or how to talk to a child or how to do this, because every child is different. And I became an uncle like 9 years old, so like parenting wise, I didn't even know I was even parenting a child. I looked at my nephews as my own, so that kind of like gave me the skills, because I was like taking them everywhere with me. I was doing stuff with them, and then one day I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be a dad. I'm like, what the hell?
So I guess, and this could be for everyone, what clicked in? What switch just turned on when you're just like, okay, wow, like I'm having a baby, I'm having a kid, I'm going to be a father? Because as Prophecy mentioned and everyone mentioned, be like, hey, like there's fathers out there, there's men out there that just breed up and be like, yo, deuces, and go from there. But then,
so what made you guys step up? You mean what made you guys realize it's a responsibility?
Yeah, responsibility to be like, okay, yo, I'm going to take care of my own. I'm going to do what I need to do, whether or not or whoever. I'm going to be in this child life and step up.
So
you want to jump in, James?
Yeah, cool. I want to jump in on this one.
All right.
Right, because there's many ways to look at this.
Okay.
There's certain dudes, you're right, they run.
Yeah.
But then you have to ask yourself why they run, right? And it could be because of their upbringing, what their environment, what they see, right? Or it could be the relationship that they're in, that is so toxic that no matter what, they have to go. And I was one of those fathers that was like, no, you can't leave, you can't do this, you gotta stay with the wife. And then I realized one day, I'm like, nah, you can't. See what I'm saying?
So I kind of get that, but
but keep this in mind though.
Weird.
No, keep this in mind though.
Okay.
Because I was one of those men like, nah, you can't. Right.
Right.
But then when I had to step away to gain my sanity, I'm still a parent at the end of the day, because I'm not leaving my child. But I can imagine what those guys went through, because I know discussions that I had, that I've seen, how certain females deal with certain men. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
So that's why every situation is different. I always tell every man, try not to leave and just be there for your kid.
Right.
But I also know that it takes two. And if that other person you're not with is vindictive or whatever the case may be, it makes it that much difficult for you to be a parent, to be a father, to be a dad to your child.
So that's a different scenario situation, because that's someone who wants to step up, but then the other side is kind of being like, nah, I'm taking the child away from you. But
you never hear it though.
You never hear it. But what I'm saying is like, say whatever you came from, whatever you did, like come with experience, right, and whatnot, where you're just like, okay, like for example, not saying hey that's what happened. It's almost just like okay, when your father wasn't there, you're just like, yo, like I don't want to pass that down. I'm going to do better. You know what I mean? As you said, and whatnot. So let me jump into that. DC, Prophecy, and Jeffrey ready to jump in. You want to jump into?
Actually, hold on 1 second. It looks like we have a caller.
We have a caller? Wow.
We'll get right back to them in 1 second.
All right. Caller.
Hello, caller? Can you hear us?
Caller.
Caller. Hello?
Something's happening. They cannot hear.
Hello?
All right, it's okay. Like they'll call back if anything. I know everything's connected. So Jeffrey and Prophecy. Sorry, I know we jumped in with Gems and Gems going in. What I just said. So do you want to jump in? Like what turned on? What kind of switch? What What made you be like, okay, I'm stepping up to be your father?
So, to be honest with you, I really don't like this question because it suggests that...
Sorry. I'm sorry, Prophecy, to interrupt you there. I think we got through. Caller, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Hi, caller. Sorry about that, Prophecy. Hi, caller. Thank you for calling in. Sorry about that. Hi, thank you. Who do we have calling in right now?
You have Tovalyn calling in.
Hi, Tova. Thank you for calling.
Your station.
Thank you. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Hamilton.
Yes, Hamilton in the house. Thank you. Come on, big up Hamilton.
Yeah.
Let's big up Hamilton. All right, and Tova, we're talking about fathers today.
Yes.
And did you have you wanted to shout out somebody in your life?
I do. I actually want to shout out two people. So I want to shout out my husband, Dwayne, and my father. And my children's father. Because
that's another show.
They have just been a blessing in my life.
Right.
My father has taught me many things. Like, he taught me that there is nothing too good for me, and whatever I want, just keep going for it.
Right.
And to, stand strong in my faith. And my husband, I cannot ask for a better husband. Like, I can truly say I have the best. He's there. He supports me. He loves me. No matter what.
Right.
He's in my corner. He's my best friend. So I just want to shout him out and shout my dad out.
Okay, shout out to them. Shout out to Tova's dad and Tova's husband.
Yes.
Shout out to them.
And shout out to the kids that is yelling out, I love you, Daddy. I heard him in the background too.
Shout out to the kids. Amazing. That's what it's about, right? It's for those responses. Well, thank you for calling in. We really appreciate it. We need to have you on the show one day.
And tell your husband Happy Father's Day.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Bye, Tova. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So sorry about that, Prophecy. I know you said that you hate that question. And to be honest with you, I hate it too. I'm dead serious. I'm like, yo, someone needs to step up, be a man. But anywho, carry on.
Yeah, I don't really like the question because, to be honest, it suggests that there is a choice. Right. And I know that it's for us as men, in particular Black men, we've taken the stance like it's a choice. And the fact is, in most cases, moms don't have that choice. So I hate the insinuation or the idea that we as men have a choice. We had a choice when we lied down with that woman, and we chose to do what we did, right? So to me, there was never even an ounce, not even a half a second, where I thought about running. And I didn't grow up with a father,
right? But
I understood the responsibility that goes into being a parent. So I remember clear as day when my daughter's mom came to me. I was outside doing some work on the car, and she came to me and she said, yeah, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
And I was like,
hold that.
Okay. I was like, okay. I was shocked. I wasn't expecting that. But there was never a moment where I was like, and we weren't even like, we had known each other maybe 5 months at the time. Right. But fooling around, not protecting, not doing what I was supposed to do. But there was never an idea or a thought in my mind that said, you know what, I can dip out on this. I can not show up for this. And I really hope that maybe this conversation and future conversations, we can change that narrative that as men or Black men, we have some sort of choice in showing up or not, because moms got to show up. They just show up
every day.
In most cases, they don't have a choice. They must show up. So I think us as Black men, we need to get to that point where we understand that regardless of the circumstance, right, we were men enough to lie down, be men enough to stand up and take care of responsibilities.
I like that. Jeffrey, you want to chime in on that before we get to Mr. I am?
Yeah, I agree with everything that Prophecy said. I agree with him. And for all y'all young people out there listening, I think choosing the mother of your child is very important. Mm-hmm. And I want to let that be clear. That's very vital in your relationship with your child. Right. So, but I agree. I think that it does seem like it's an option for us, and it really isn't an option. There was no doubt in my mind that I knew what kind of father I was going to be, because I knew what kind of father I had. Mm-hmm. Right. So it wasn't an option, and it makes it a lot easier to be a father, especially when you have that concept model to you. So once you have the concept, you have an idea what you want to be. A lot of people will think what they want to think, and when I have my child, it's gonna look like this, it's gonna look like that. But when you actually have one, like sometimes you love that child so much, you want to protect them from certain things that will help them grow. But either way, I think that's what clicked for me. I knew what kind of father I was going to be from day one. I know it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Shout out, yeah.
So, Mr. IMG, you want to chime in on something?
Well, just in case someone's listening, like a young father, and let's just say he's contemplating about what he should do, or in regards to dealing with the situation, what advice would you have for that young man right now dealing with the situation in regards to becoming a young father and how to deal with it in the process?
I don't know. Was that question for me?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Just for anyone. Yeah.
Anybody.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna jump on this first. Well, what advice would I give him? I would tell him that make sure make sure she got good genes.
What? Hold up. What do you mean about that? About good genes? What?
Wait, watch. Hold up. Make sure they're kind. Make sure they're nice. Make sure they got they're very supportive of their own family before they make their own. Make sure you do all those things as well. So make sure you have all the characteristics that you're looking for in somebody else who could potentially be the mother of your child. Make sure you have them as well.
So hold up. That could just almost be like a first, second, third date. Everyone will show up first and be like, "Yo, I'm nice. I can do this and that." And then next thing you know, what do you mean?
No. So there's two kind of people. Because
oh no!
He's breaking up.
Was he breaking up? He was about to break it down. Yeah, because I can break it down,
I think he was trying to break it down, but the phone was just like, yeah, right, you're lying.
No, he's about to break it down.
It's the government.
There you go.
Oh, okay, he's back. Sorry, you gotta say that again, Jeffrey. Sorry, it kind of cut off a little bit.
It cut off, Jeffrey, so go again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, I was saying that one of the best things that you can do is you obtain all the qualities that you want in somebody else. If you're considering having a child with somebody, make sure you have those qualities first.
Okay, yeah, I hear that. That's good. So, James.
And as far as, I'm sorry, real quick, as far as that takes time though, because you just don't know them, because there are people that represent one thing, right, and then people that show something different, and that goes for both sides.
Right. I get that.
That's agreed.
What do you say? What advice do you have for me?
For you? For you being a father? First time?
Yeah, first time. Jeffrey said for the young, and Mr. I am said for the young people too.
So for yourself?
I consider myself young.
No, but for yourself as a first time father, I tell everybody enjoy the moment. Enjoy those nights when they're crying. Enjoy the nights when you're holding that baby in your arm. Enjoy those nights, those sleepless nights, because as the baby gets big, you're gonna wish back those moments, those precious moments that you have.
Sorry. I'm a little bit greedy. So I'm a little bit to myself, and I know my wife's gonna kill me. But when you said enjoying those sleepless nights, and I'm like, I love my sleep. So I'm like, yo, baby, get to whatever age you can get to.
Yo, but the problems change as they get older.
I understand.
Yeah, the problems as they get older is different. You're gonna want to miss those nights where they couldn't talk and all they could do was cry and eat and sleep and shit. You know what I mean?
I'll give you an example. I remember when my daughter was born, 2:32 a.m. May 1st.
Okay.
And I still have my shirt up to this day.
Okay.
My daughter was my shirt. The shirt I held her in when she was born.
Okay.
Right? And I just remember holding her and just walking up and down the hospital. Like, there's certain moments you just remember.
Right.
And you'll always remember. And you want to just cherish those moments. Because as they get big, because my daughter's 16.
Right.
She's a handful and a half.
No, don't worry. I want to get to that because it seemed like Prophecy, Jeffrey, and yourself, Jeff, as you guys know the range, and now you guys have older children. You know what I mean? You could say young adult women or male in the life. So we will definitely get into that. But Prophecy, what do you have to say for those young fathers, young listeners, myself?
For a young father, I think it's understand that you don't have to be perfect. You know, you're gonna make mistakes, just like our parents all made mistakes. But the best thing you can do is show up. The best thing you can do is be there, be present, right, and trust that, you know, I mean, maybe you're not, you know, spiritual or have a religious background, but for me, I'm a man of faith. So for me, I just trust God in for the gaps, to fill in the gaps, because we all have gaps. You know, rooms you mentioned, you know, you come from a Caribbean background, and your first inclination is, you know, she acting up, yo, where's the strap? But I'll say to you that as you go through, you're gonna learn, you know, ways to communicate with your daughter. You're gonna learn how to, you know, communicate with her in such a way where you don't have to raise a hand. I raised two daughters, and I raised my hand once to them, and it was the most traumatic experience, and it never happened again. Because coming out of that, I learned how to communicate with them, that they understood me, where I didn't have to do like my mom and my dad did, which was get that strap. You know what I mean? So I think it's an incredible experience when it's embraced, not without its challenges, not without its growing pains, but it's an incredible experience that you don't want to miss out on. You don't want to miss out on, because once, like my brother said, you know, those nights when you can hold her, like my daughter is 6 months old, and she was born yesterday as far as I'm concerned. And so it goes fast. Right. So don't miss it. That's really the word. Don't miss it, because you can't get it back. You can't get it back.
Fair. No, that's amazing. That's crazy.
That's, you know, and I just want to touch on something too that Jeffrey had said, and I have a question for you guys. You know, he mentioned his dad, right? Which is my uncle, and I can remember, you know, going to New York and seeing my uncle like work hard and not really maybe understanding him, because, you know, he's a Caribbean man, but he work hard. Sometimes he's gone before we wake up in the morning, and he's not home until late, and he eats. But my cousins lived good. You know what I mean? Yeah. But they had a good life, and he worked really hard for them. So I knew right off the bat what type of fathers my cousins were going to be, because of the dads that they had, which are my uncles, which are my mom's brothers. Right, you know what I mean? So I knew right away, like, shout out to them, like all of my uncles. I knew right away what kind of fathers any of my cousins would be. Like, there was no question. Did a lot of you guys, I know Jems mentioned it earlier, he learned from his parents. You know, what did you guys learn from your fathers about being a father? Did they give you guys any advice when you were becoming fathers?
You know what? Me being a young father and new to this.
Yes, please, because you're not young.
Yeah. What I've learned is definitely not patient. Definitely not in the Caribbean background. It's very short. As I said, when they say, "Yo, we'll get the bill," what are you crying for? Right. Very. It was as you just said. It's provide. It's family. Mm-hmm. Like, so no matter what, right? Being in a marriage, relationship, whatever, having that family,
right?
You need to step up. If that significant other, wife, whoever decides not to work, then okay, they don't work.
Right.
What are you going to do as a man, as a father, to provide for your family? Right. And that's exactly what I got from my dad, where I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm no matter what, I need to provide for my family.
Right.
My family, like, I don't care if I don't eat. It's funny because I'm playing this when my baby girl was born, and I was just like, wow, like right now there is no me. Mm-hmm. It's weird because I'm actually saying that. Like, I've been saying that. I'm like, everything I do now is for her and my family.
Right.
But it's definitely for her. So we all know where we came up from it, and there's that little bit of that cycle, and you know how our parents or our fathers, because we're talking about fathers, like, came from nothing.
Right.
So we came from 2 shillings and one suitcase or rubbish bag.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then they came into this country or wherever and made our life a little bit easier. Even though we don't see it that way, they made our life a little bit easier. Now, it's almost like, what are we going to do? It's almost like we need to up it.
Right.
We cannot kind of be like, okay, like we came from two. No, we didn't.
You didn't.
They did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They come. So what are we doing now to provide for our family, our children, the whole works? Like, we know different cultures, right? We'll be like, yo, I'm passing down a legacy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they have stores, they have maybe housing, they have
land.
This and that. But what are we going to do as men now in this generation to be like, okay, like our children could not work for anyone and work for themselves because we passed down something to them. You know what I mean? So that's what I kind of picked up and learned and go from there. So we can pass it around if we want. So Jan's prophecy, Jeffrey, if you're there.
I'm here.
What have you learned from your father or a father figure? You can say, right? Because sometimes people who don't have fathers, and their uncles could be father figures or someone in the church or a best friend or whoever. You know what I mean? So, what have you learned from a father figure or your father?
Like you said, definitely didn't learn patience. As being the Caribbean man that he is, but definitely learned hard work and perseverance. Those are some things I learned. Like no matter how bad it gets, we got to push through. But I did kind of come to the realization that that father that they were, we can't be in this generation because it just won't work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to take those things that we learn and we kind of got to alter it to where we are now. But, growing up how we grew up, now my father he wouldn't be effective then like he is, he wouldn't be effective now as he was then.
Right.
Because it's just a different generation. But what he taught me some valuable things, and he taught me a lot by not talking to me.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that he did. It wasn't there's that clip in Fences where Denzel Washington has that dialogue with his son, but that's like how it was every day. And I used to remember like craving his attention, but he just wasn't that, So I had to wait for Jareen and my cousins Camille and all of them to come over to really give somebody my full attention, because he didn't want he was like, I'm dad. First and foremost, I'm dad, and I'm gonna be that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna see nothing else. You're gonna see me being dad. I ain't here to joke. I ain't here to laugh. I'm here. I'm dad.
Yep. I can remember come in the kitchen. I go you're gone. But that's amazing though, because it made you who you were. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And once again, there's this thing going around on Instagram that tough times make tough men. You know what I'm saying? And now we're not in that no more. So kind of easy times make kind of wimpy men, kind of. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of in that transition where things aren't so bad as they used to be. And where we grew up, we was coming out the civil rights era. You know what I'm saying? Right. We was coming out of that. So the whole dynamic of the way they grew up was different. So of course the way we grew up is different, and that's just how it changes.
Okay, cool. Prophecy.
My story is a little bit different. I didn't have my father growing up. I had moments with him, but nothing substantial. But I would say that.
Was there a father figure?
Say again?
Was there a father figure that you kind of like got advice from?
There was a father figure, but he showed me everything I didn't want to be as a father.
You know what? That's sort of okay.
So there's that. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of what I learned coming up in terms of being a father, I learned just watching TV. I'll be honest with you. Shout out to Bill Cosby. Shout out to Uncle Phil. And them mans, yo. No, real talk. I'm being honest with you. Like coming up watching some of those shows and just seeing those black fathers in those roles really made me see, okay, yo, like, that's what a father should look like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when Bill Cosby, Dr. Huxtable is talking to Theo about, his schoolwork and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that showed me, okay, that's what a father does. A father, you know, even though my son is struggling, I want him to know that I got him, right, and that, you know, I support him. You know what I mean? So for me, I got to see the negative side, what I didn't want as a father. And I also got to see examples from what I saw on TV. And there were some men that, you know, passed through at certain aspects of my life where I got to see, you know, what men really look like or what a man looks like.
Right.
And so I've kind of pieced together, you know, my manhood. I've made a lot of mistakes. I wish I could say I had that great example. I didn't have that great example. And I made a lot of mistakes. I'm sitting here today at 43 years old, you know, wise because of a lot of mistakes. So I would say that's been more my journey.
Well, clearly you're doing something right because you have all your kids and a blended family, and you're doing the best to provide. And shout out to the significant other, your wife now, I could say, right? Maybe that's a partnership that you guys are figuring it out, right? Yeah. So that's big up on that.
One day at a time, brother.
Gems, talk to me.
Talk to you. Wow.
What did you learn?
What did you learn?
Not enough.
Not enough?
Because you never stop learning.
Fair.
Right. So in that aspect, you never stop learning. My pops didn't say too much.
Actions?
Actions, good or bad. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I learned from my father. I learned from uncles. I learned from the village I grew up in.
Village, like that.
Because that time, and like your cousin said, Jeffrey said, that's a different time. And that time, it wasn't just your parents raising you. Your aunts, your uncles, person down the street. Rest in peace. He's like my Uncle Jimmy. Like, there's so many people that like had a hand in the pot in raising a child.
Yeah, that taught you.
That taught me.
Right.
Like, and like to what I see now, it's completely different what Jeffrey said, right? So I give thanks and to those things, like, because I'm like, they didn't help me. I could have.
Okay. You
can steer the wrong way, but the value that they instilled into you kind of steers you. You kind of figure it out on your own. Like, you know what? I don't want to go down this route. Like, as much as you, because that's what happens with a lot of us, right? The carrying background homes, they're like I said, there's no rule book. So when you learn something or you feel like you're not getting the attention you need to get or whatever, you seek it somewhere else, right? And then you hope that all your parents can do is hope that what they instill into you, and they hope their friends that they instill that good value in you, that you don't go down that path. And if you do, you can get yourself back out.
So what's funny is because I want to kind of jump a little bit ahead because we had a brief conversation last week. And we talked about like new beaches, all that stuff, whatever, the whole work. and really truthfully, but really truthfully, it kind of ties into what we're going to talk about now because we're talking about what happened if now your child being at this age. So I definitely know I heard Prophecy and Jeffrey and yourself saying now you have grown
teenage kids
kind of thing, right? Which is totally different from obviously a baby, which is like, hey, be there for the cry sleepless nights. Right. I still don't believe that, Jeb. So I'm like, okay.
I'm telling you. I'm not asking. I'm telling you facts.
Now you have young adults. How did that change being a father? Like, you're like, oh my gosh, this is my baby girl. This is my little cub, my lion. You know what I mean, or whatever. Now it's just like they're just like, Daddy, peace in this new era. You could say
this new world.
This new world. Because it's all about technology. It's all about, like, fast, quick. Like, everything's quick. and like, it's good for us because we know how to pick up compared to our parents. Because if our parents are trying to raise young adults now, they're done for. Literally, they're done for.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
that's so true, that. Well, some. Most.
Be careful. You got to remember.
Listen. We know. Okay. Trust me, we know how we can be crafty. We know how they know how we can be crafty. So these kids now, they can be crafty and they don't care, even if you catch them. Yeah. So now my thing is for you guys, Jeffrey, and Prophecy, and obviously the host, we can all jump in. What changed? Like, did you guys change? Or did you have to adapt in a mean way, in a good way, in whatever way? Anyone?
I don't know. Would Prof want to answer this one first?
Want to jump in, Prophecy?
Prophecy, want to go in this one?
You have some young adults in your life. How did you change? Or how did you adapt?
Yeah, well, again, I do have the I guess experience to say from 6 months to 24 years. But I would say this, in particular with my girls, my 19-year-old and my 17-year-old, different stages require a different hand of parenting, to be honest with you. And now that they're 19 and 17, it's more of a, I'll say it like this. So me and my mom have a phenomenal relationship. My mom raised me in such a way where we could talk about absolutely anything under the sun. Sex, right down the line, anything. And I've tried to emulate that with my girls. And for the most part, we have that. But again, I'm still a dad, I'm still a guy, so certain things they're not going to feel as comfortable to talk to me about. But as they're getting older, they're realizing I can talk to dad about just about anything, right? And so I always said to myself, in my immature 24 years old, becoming a father, said to myself, if I can get these girls to post-secondary without being pregnant or getting in trouble with the law, I feel like I accomplished a lot as a dad. Obviously, as I've grown, there are other things that are important. But I think once you start to get to these ages, you have to trust that you put enough in to your kids that they're going to make wise decisions. And I've seen that in my daughters because I feel like the model that I've shown them has led them to make good decisions. Case in point, my 19-year-old, she's been talking to this boy now for 4 years. And I remember when her mom said,
hold on. Before you carry on, I wish our listeners seen your face because you struggled when he said that boy.
Yes, it was a struggle. Honest to God, it was a struggle. I wasn't ready. But when I met him, the first day I met him, I went home and I felt so proud. Why? Because while he looked rough on the outside, I spent the whole day with him. I met him on my 40th birthday. I met him. And I spent the whole day with him. And when I came home, I felt so proud because while he looked rough on the outside, because I didn't like his outer exterior, but his character and the way that I saw how attentive he was to my daughter, I said, okay, Dwayne, you did something right. Because I've been dating my daughters since they were babies. I've been taking them out for dates, opening doors, buying them flowers, showing them how important.
Super
and so now to see my daughter choose a boy who's doing the same things that I modeled, it let me know that I did some right things along the way. And I'll leave that and I'll hand it off to one of you guys to continue from there.
That's perfect. I actually like that. You've been dating your daughter. Yo, I'm still in that one for sure.
Super important. As a do we have a caller? Okay, as a daughter that grew up without, my own in-house father, that is something I can say is very, very important. It helps with your decision making as you get older. I can attest to that.
That script on you. I was going to do that near the end a little bit. So hold that right there. Jeffrey, my man, you have some young adults. How did that change you, if you did change or adapt?
So one of the things that helped me change and make me adjust was being a teacher, being in education, because now I'm dealing with kids that's not mine. So I get to see ahead of time, okay, this is what they're gonna do. This is what this is what I gotta look forward to. So I could almost prepare myself, and I could almost practice on the students at school of what I should do with my kids. minus the beating and the whipping and everything. But
amen, brother. Amen.
Just like prophecy said, you kind of gotta be you got to be ahead. So, and what that means is you teach them how to make good decisions. And sometimes let them know, it's okay to fail, just don't stay there. So you got to teach them those things, because I'm not saying, and listen, and I know I said earlier, we can't raise our kids the same way. We have the foundation of our parents, but we just got to execute it differently. So we got the foundation, we just got to execute it differently. We can't do it the same way they did it.
I agree.
So, So what I'm saying is that, like, so teaching kids how to make good decisions, teaching them, you know, my dad was rough. I'm 41 years old. He never told me he loved me yet, but that's fine. I know he does.
Mm-hmm.
But in a black household, I tell my son I love him. I tell my daughter I love her.
Right.
Try to normalize that.
Right.
Not just with words, but with action too. Yeah. So sometimes, you know, you build a foundation of making good choices. So what that means now is that when they were younger, I would help them to make good choices. Now I sit back, and whatever choice you make, you take everything that come with it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I sit back now and I let them make those choices and let them learn. And therefore, when it comes again, once they finish, we're able to talk about it. Like, listen, okay, what did you do wrong? Mm-hmm. How can we fix it for next time? We have that dialogue, and I think that's very important. Even if you beat and whip your kids to them, it's important to have that conversation after so that they can understand.
Right.
And I'm only laughing because I'm just like, I hear you, Jeffrey, and I hope my baby girl has every quality as
of her mother. Okay.
Because no, trust me. I'm gonna say that because me don't learn. Me stubborn. I put my head on the pot. I'm going next day to put it on. I don't know why, but anyways, Money Gems, tell me, your 16-year-old.
Oh gosh, she's a handful, bro.
Talk the things. Thank you. Talk the things. What's up?
These generation of soon to be young adults, it's like a whirlwind, and you gotta give them that support. You gotta give them that love. You gotta give them that attention. You gotta let them know. You gotta let them know even right now that you're always gonna be there for them.
Right.
No matter what mistakes they do, they gotta own their mistakes and they gotta learn to move forward from the mistakes.
Right.
I realized that with a lot of these kids that they like to deflect and put the blame somebody else for it. Right. So, and I see it a lot with these kids growing up, and then
they don't like to take ownership.
They don't like to take ownership of it, right? Because that's the world that we live in. We like to pass the buck.
Right.
And that's the truth. It's what it is. And with my own, I just try to just guide her the right way. Like we never stop teaching. I never understood that till I had my daughter. So my pops told me we never stop teaching. We're forever teaching. We're forever learning. Right?
Oh, that's crazy.
Right? We're forever teaching. We're forever learning.
Yeah.
I'm always learning from my father and my parents, and I'm always teaching my kids at the same time.
Right.
I'm teaching for them not to make the mistakes, but me knowing that they are going to make the mistakes, because sometimes we need to walk our toe in order for us to really learn from our own experience, even though they're not ready to learn the lesson that was presented to them.
All right.
See what I'm saying? So it gets like that. So yeah, everything that Jeffrey and Prophecy said, they hit it on the noggin. And I just try to add a little bit of sprinkle on it. That's all it is. You know what I mean? No, it's
right.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. You just gotta love and to hold them. And yeah, my daughter has a boyfriend. Yeah, he said it. I just shook my head and said it, bro.
the boyfriend thing.
Yeah, because it's true. It's so true. They're rough around the edges. When you see them, they have really great qualities, and you're like. Mm-hmm. And I remember my daughter told her boyfriend to run.
What?
She told her boyfriend. No, I walked up. I true story. Went to the community center. Community center I grew up playing basketball in.
Right.
I was like, yo, where's my kid? I go like, where's my kid? I'm like, going there, like, go there, pick up my daughter. I see my daughter sitting on some boy's lap. I'm like,
boy.
Like, so I'm like, what is this?
See, so Jeffrey shook his head.
Like, you know what I mean?
You really know.
And I shook my head and said, yo, like, what's going on here? I said, oh, this is the boy. So I said, hey, come here. I said, come. And her
daughter was smirking. I was like, run.
They come here. And I said, no, come here. And she's like, he's going to shoot you. I'm like, what makes him like some dangerous guy? I'm like, no, I can shoot nobody. So yo, just come here. Like, you know what I mean? Because I was 16. Like, and how tell me forget what we were doing when we were 16 and 15.
See, this is where the problem is, because you reminisce about that. So
No,
when you're like, yo,
to,
I was 16. Let's be real.
Hold on, let me
Jeffrey,
finish. Let me finish.
Gems,
let me finish.
Prophecy.
Let me finish.
Howard, maybe.
Let me finish.
I'm sorry. Rooms. You know what I mean? What I'm saying, we know. We know what we did when we were younger.
No.
So just imagine these men
but
the time.
I think we have a caller.
Quickly, caller. What's up?
We have a caller.
State your name.
Caller, can you hear us?
Caller,
hold on 1 second. Let's just run him through. Caller, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Hi, caller. Thank you for calling in. Who do we have? I feel like you guys know who we have. Who do we have calling in?
Caller, briefly.
Briefly, the original Mr. Wallard.
Okay.
So, Mr. Talk to us about being a father briefly. What's your best experience about being a father?
Best experience, just the birth of my children.
Wow. How many children do you have?
2 months ago.
Oh, boy. That's a whole next show.
So hold on. Are you a father or are you a dad?
I am both.
Okay.
So you like to breed and you like to take care of your teams.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Good.
Take care of
What kind of language is that? What kind of language is that? Otaada.
Jeffrey, you did a Dovkin.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Warlord. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so to me, some of the best experiences is just seeing my kids happy, like seeing them achieve the things that they set out to do. Whenever they're happy and thriving in life, that's where I get my joy, like seeing the smiles on their face.
Right.
So those are the little things that mean much to me as a father.
Do you have any plans for Sunday? What's your Father's Day plans?
Sunday I've got a Father's Day.
He should just lay back and hopefully the kids and whoever take care of him.
Take care of him? Or are you going out? Or
They're taking me out for breakfast, and then later on in the evening they're gonna order food, and we're gonna kick back and watch movies.
Nice. That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Do you like that? Yeah. Are you accepting that or what?
That's what he said he likes to enjoy and doing.
When it comes to Mother's Day, everyone has to go all out, but Father's Day is just like, here, all that candy.
But here's a joke. I was in the store the other day and I saw a gift that I wanted, so I sent a picture to the kids and I said, hey, this would be nice for Father's Day. And let me tell you, the first thing them start telling me, them brought this and them brought that. Well, whatnot. But I know them. They're going to get it. So, I'm cool.
So that's good. That's good.
That's good. And one thing for our listeners, like I know this caller, you know what I mean? Like he's been doing big things. He actually educates his kids because I know the oldest one, the daughter, right? Mr. Warlord, correct me if I'm wrong. She went and bought her house, did everything. Like you install all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Try and instill in my kids things that I've learned along the way, and I see it in them. Like as he said, my daughter, she's now on her own. She purchased her first condo a couple of years ago, and she has her master's. She's doing well in life now. She's getting set to buy her first townhome. So she's making steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
My son just graduated from university, and he's doing his thing. So, and the little ones, them are up and coming, but the big ones doing their thing.
Amazing. Well, thank you for calling.
Congratulations.
Yes, big up to your kids.
That's amazing.
Big up for you being a great father.
Yes, one thing with Sparkle, I see a lot of people and hear a lot of people talk about they gotta live for themselves and whatnot. Like, the minute you have kids, you no longer live for yourself.
Right.
You gotta live for them.
Right. Thank you for those words of wisdom.
Great.
You gotta.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Sorla. Thank you. Thank you for calling in. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye.
I know we still have a couple more minutes before we go and do that. So I'm going to turn it around a little bit. I want to actually direct this question to Doreen a little bit because obviously it's Father's Day and we get it. It's for all the men who's on here right now. Big up the fathers. But Doreen, as a woman, right? having kids as well too,
yes.
all ages. You know what I mean, right? What do you want for your kids later on in the future? Whatever that father figure, like what do you expect? What do you see for them
as a father figure? So you know, it's so funny because
coming from your background, like from your father, the whole works,
right?
Not being there and whatnot.
So I grew up in a single family household, and you know, my cousin and Prophecy had mentioned something earlier, like, you know, they saw, you know, Mr. Huxtable on the TV and Uncle Phil and all these things. And for me, it truly was, you know, as Jeffrey said, his dad, right? His dad and my other uncle. So my other uncle is a bit more fun, Uncle Rob. You know what I mean? Uncle Rob's more Jeffrey smiling. He knows Uncle Rob is more lively, more fun. And, you know, while Jeffrey's dad was more serious and, like, you know, they both worked very hard. And I kind of combined the two in my head of what I wanted a father to be like, you know what I mean? Right. Someone who worked hard, someone who engaged with the family and the kids, but at the same time was very serious and a disciplinarian when needed to be. Wouldn't say much sometimes, but when they needed to, like, I kind of fused the two, you know? Right. So I do find now that I'm older, it's like, I would want that almost traditional father figure.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm very traditional when it comes to that. Someone who works hard, someone that we can respect, someone that will be able to lead the family, because not every father is a leader, right? Someone who's going to lead us properly, someone who's going to be a provider, and someone who I can work with, right? So these are things that I saw in my two uncles that were around me, and I appreciate it. You know, unfortunately, I made decisions that I thought that's what I was getting, and I didn't, right? But you know, that's okay, because I'm at an age now where my kids don't necessarily need a father, but I do still want them to see that role model of what a father should be. Right. So that if at any time they become fathers or my daughter decides to engage in a relationship, she'll know what to look for. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at.
Love it.
Yes,
Love it.
Well done.
So I'll make it brief. We have to make it really quick. Mr. I.M. You know what I mean? I know you're looking forward to becoming a father of the whole works. Give me your insight.
Just quickly, today was a rough day for me, but I also work in the school board, and basically what happened, there was a situation, and I got upset, and the kindergarten kids came around and gave me a hug. They saw me upset about the situation, and they came and said, Mr. Sims, what happened? And I was like, I'm not having a good day. And so they gave me a hug and they said, talk to us afterward. So I just have a little, like, stuff like that when I'm in the school and everything, you know, and it
makes you look forward to having your children.
Well,
I think you'll be a great dad.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think you'll be a great father.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Just tie them up in the corner and be like,
or they might tie him up.
All right, briefly. Thank you for everyone being on this show. Just a quick shout out, Jem. If you want to give a quick shout out to your kids, the whole works. You being a great father, go ahead, do it now.
Shout out to all my kids.
That's
Kalia, Jayla, Josiah, Jermaine.
Wow. Okay. Prophecy, and then we'll leave Jeffrey to the end. Prophecy. Big shout out to whoever last words you need to say.
All six routed.
Yeah, I'll go from oldest to youngest. So I got Shanae, then Taya, then Talia, then Cheyenne, then Shayla, then Zariah.
Nice.
Big up, and Jeffrey.
Yeah, I only got two, but just big up to Juice, who's in California right now, and my daughter Kalia.
Kelly, wow. Awesome, guys. Thank you.
And what about you? Shout out Kalani.
Yo, shout out Kalani. Oh, my baby girl. Who keeps me up. Crazy. Anywho, guys, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate you. Happy
Once again,
Father's
you know
Day.
what it is. Happy Father's Day for everyone. It's your boy Rooms.
It's your girl, Miss Jareen.
And your boy, Mr. I Am.
Thank you very much. Before we head out for our listeners, please look out for Nostalgic Voyage Fridays. You know, music provided by Stokes. You know what I mean? And we have DJ Lighter. And what's coming up next, we have Street Talks.
We're Linky Links in the building.
So, guys, please tune in. Listen to the links coming up. You know what it is.
Linky Links, where you at?
Yo.
Come again.
Big up. Anywho, once again, welcome to the E.I.P. Lounge.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Happy Father's Day, guys.
Take care, guys. Happy Father's Day, Jones.
Happy Father's Day.
Take care, guys. Thanks for having me.
We hope that you've enjoyed the E.I.P. experience, a podcast for the people.
Hey, peace and blessings. This is Lucia D inviting you to join me each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. for Honey Drop here on iLive Radio. Journey with me each week as I spin the latest international sounds in new soul, R&B, hip-hop, and a little taste of everything in between. Every show features independent producers from across the globe in the beats beneath, and the 10 sweetest vibes of the week smooth out the night in the 10 Drop. Honey Drop, each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, here on iLive Radio. Serving up audible treats like honey, always